Alright, so I went from showing you what I believe was the worst mini T in the world, um, and flipped that into what I believe was the best mini T in the world. I love this thing. Making these little videotapes is kind of a send off to this stuff. I'm gonna let it go because I don't run them. I don't really feel the need to have shelf queens sitting around. If I have it, I'm going to drive it. I don't have time to drive a lot of this stuff. And frankly, some of these really cool old Losi things are getting to where I can't drive them. Not because they don't work, but because if they break apart here, eventually I'm not going to be able to get it. Maybe people 3D print these in the future. I don't know, but right now it's not happening as far as getting parts go for these things very easily or very economically. So I'll take the top off of it here, and the big difference between this and the regular Mini T was out of the box. This one came with oil-filled shocks, which I think the Mini T Pro did, whereas the regular one just had the friction shocks. It's got a longer wheelbase than a regular Mini T has. Matter of fact, if I can bring back the Ruckus here, or the ECX Smash rather, not the Ruckus, you can see that the wheelbase is longer. Line these up here, wheel for wheel. You've got about a 2-inch difference between the two, and lengthwise, the Desert Truck is longer. I put in here a 6200 kilovolt tack-on motor and 18 amp old school Hobby Wing ESC. Even really old Hobby Wing like this, they were good ESCs back in the day before they started making them even better. Really cool. It's kind of got like a built-in skid plate on the back here, so I can ride wheelies on it all the time. It's got enough power to do that. Flip back through my videos, you'll see some running video of the thing out in the cul-de-sac where I was jumping the curb and doing wheelies with it and running it through the grass, and just basically having a ball with a vehicle that I've loved. And sad to have to let it go, but it's not doing me any good just sitting on a shelf. And like I said, I'm afraid that if I do drive it and break something, I'll never be able to get a part for it again. So maybe there's some collector or something out there that is looking for one and wants one, and will be able to get it this way, and they'll be happy, and I'll be sad, and life goes on. So that's what we're going to do with this. Another cool feature here that I want to point out: they had built-in light buckets on these guys here. I never did put lights in it, and that's a big regret of mine of not doing that. So it takes like 1 millimeter and 3 millimeter LEDs here for the front light bar, and what I think would really be cool is to run clear here and yellow here, and then it's got buckets in the back for the tail lights. Those would be red naturally, and you could wire them up to where they come off and on with the ESC if you want to. Wire them up to a third channel, or have them come on when you pull the trigger, or maybe you leave the back lights off and you have them come on when you hit the brake. All pretty simple stuff to do, but I never did do it with this. I just had so much fun driving it, and LED kits back in the day were expensive, and you had to wire them up to a controller board, and things are much simpler now. But this is one of my favorite trucks, the Losi Mini Desert Truck.